Society. Marilyn's Cafe Society. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to another edition of Maryland's Cafe Society Radio on YouTube. Of course, today is Tuesday. It's the 25th day of October. Oh, yeah. How have you been? How have you been? Well, listen, I'm good. I know. We did not have a show last week, and that's all right. We're here now. We're back in motion, and as they say, the show must go on. So listen. A lot has happened in the past week. In fact, there will be a lot happening in this next week, starting with Election Day. Election Day is coming up for the state of Illinois, and I tell you, I've never felt so anxious about an election as I am about this one. And so, I just encourage everyone to get out there and cast your vote, vote your heart, vote truth. And let's just make sure that our voice is heard, because so many have fought, struggled, and even lost their lives so that people of color in particular and women could have the right to vote. So let's go ahead and make sure we exercise that right, and educate yourself as much as you can about each candidate, and what those key issues are, how important it is to make sure that the people of this country are that their best interests are taken into account. That these people who represent us truly pass laws and represent the people. All right, and so let's lighten up a little bit. I tell you, let's lighten up. I'm just gonna quietly play a little music. I don't know how it is where you are, but here in the Midwest, particularly in the Chicagoland area, it's one of those all-day rainy days. Yeah, it's been raining all night, as a matter of fact, into the day. Kind of gloomy, and just one of those nice fall days where, hopefully, you were lucky enough to have the day off, and you're just kind of around the house, piddling around, taking care of things, and just listening to the rain fall, and, peeping out the window every now and again and seeing the beautiful colors of the leaves that are changing on the trees and falling and all of that good stuff. But listen, today is also World Pasta Day. World Pasta Day. And so to test your knowledge and my knowledge, I got a little help here, but I pulled up two names, and I want to test your knowledge on how well you know your Italian pasta and how well you know your Italian composers. And so I'm going to throw these names out there, and you tell me which is which. All right. So one of the Italian names I'm putting out there is Puccini. Puccini. Is that an Italian pasta, or is it an Italian composer? And the second one is tripolini. Tripolini. Is that a pasta, or is that an Italian composer? All right, and we're just going to listen to this for a few seconds as you contemplate your answer. Puccini and tripolini. Which is which? Which is the composer? Which is the pasta? All right, so here's the answer real quick. Tripolini is in fact a pasta, an Italian pasta, and Puccini, whose first name is Giacomo Puccini, was a pretty well-known Italian composer. And he put together, from the research, he put together some excellent operas as well. And so there you have it. As we celebrate World Pasta Day, of course, you can have some, but also hopefully you've learned Puccini, Giacomo Puccini, is an actual Italian composer. Well, he's gone on, but was an Italian composer, and tripolini is a pasta. All right, and so we're going to keep the show short today, and let's go ahead and throw the cafe talk question out there. Have you cut back on groceries because of inflation? We've been hearing all this talk about we're in a inflation, we're headed to an inflation. And I stumbled upon this article that I'll share with you once we get into cafe talk, but it suggests that many Americans have cut back on groceries because of inflation. Have you? All right, you think about it, stew about it as we get into the cafe news and delve into the article and the question a little bit later on. Well, in cafe news, listen, there's a new report out. The National Assessment of Educational Progress, who produces what is called the Nation's Report Card, recently released new data that revealed math scores for fourth and eighth graders dropped in every state here in the US between 2019 and including this year. And so that's not good news, right? But listen, this is even pre-pandemic data, pre-pandemic, 2019. And of course, we're approaching post-pandemic, this year, 2022. But according to the data, almost 40% of eighth graders failed to grasp basic math concepts. And the reading scores weren't that much better. They plunged as well to their lowest level since 1992. And so I guess, forgetting about the year 2019, although we know COVID made its appearance late 2019. We all know that, right? But we really didn't hit pandemic mode until March of 2022. And so as a result of the shutdown and the schools having to teach remotely and all of that, we kind of all saw this coming, right? We saw it coming. We knew based on numbers and data prior to COVID that the American school systems were kind of struggling to begin with. So I guess the big question now is, we can debate about why and other whys and all of that, but the biggest question to focus on now, I think, is what can we do about it? What can we do about it? Well, as I said, it's election season, and so it's time to cast your vote. You're going to vote for people who are really going to get busy putting together budgets and policies, releasing funds and other major investments for in-school and after-school programs that will help the teachers become better teachers and, more importantly, help the students do better. We got to fix those numbers. That's tragic, everybody. That's tragic. Almost 40% of eighth graders failed to grasp the basic math concepts, and with the reading scores plunging to the lowest level since 1992, that is not good news. And so let's make sure that education is at the forefront of these people that we put into office. And really, that make sure that it's someone who's really going to get in there and bring about some change, because we cannot continue to neglect the young minds that are our future. You can't do that. We can't neglect to invest in these young minds and then 20 years from now, 30 years from now, complain as we get older, complain about how, these young people aren't, living up to our expectations. So education. All right. And also this story, I thought it was interesting because I know so many people who use the Apple products, but for the first time ever, Apple has increased subscription prices for their Apple TV Plus and Apple Music, and that's all due to the expansion of its streaming content library and higher music licensing cost. So get ready to dip into your pockets a little bit more, Apple users. And remember this, remember when we were in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic and the economy wasn't doing so well in terms of being able to go to the store and purchase certain things because, of the shipping problems that we were having. In fact, there was the issue in Los Angeles and Long Beach, even I think at one point this year, where the ships with these containers with all this merchandise and product and goods were backed up, 109 ships deep, I think they read, which it equates to almost 60 miles from the coast of LA and Long Beach. And when you close your eyes and try to imagine it, not just the stretch of the number of ships, but how high those ships are, and imagining all of the product and merchandise that's on them. Well, it appears, according to most reports, that that's a thing of the past now, because according to the experts, the shipping situation is back to normal. In fact, the Wall Street Journal, as of last week, I think, reported that the number of ships waiting to drop off goods now at the LA and Long Beach coast is only 4. There's just 4 of them versus the 109. So what that means is all of the retailers and stores and all of that have received the back orders and all that merchandise that was just sitting there for months and months. Well, listen, as a result of all of that was in the news headlines, and for those who really wanted to find out more about how this is all working, we took the time to learn a bit more about the supply chain, and we became acutely aware of just how far some of this merchandise is traveling. And when we think about this holiday gift giving season that we're coming into, we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that a lot of the goods and merchandise that we order and purchase come from Asian factories. In fact, I recently read that the peak season for shipping goods here to the United States from Asia has ended. The peak season has ended, folks. And so from now on, leading up to our Black Friday shopping and all of the buying and shopping that some will be doing all the way up to Christmas Eve, all of that merchandise will be on a truck or a train, rail car, headed to a warehouse, or it's already sitting in a warehouse, and from there it'll be distributed, and then the parcel delivery companies will begin to take them to the stores and or to individual homes. And just imagine all of that. And from what I'm hearing, the retailers are up the kazoo with merchandise because all of that back order stuff has finally come in. So, and on the one hand, I guess it's a good thing. On the other hand, it may not be a good thing because, from what I've read too, the ordering process has slowed down quite a bit. And so, because of the overstock and all of that. So we'll have to see how it's going to affect the economy in the long run. But, it's good news that there won't be waits for your merchandise and the goods and things of that nature that you plan to buy and shop for the Christmas holiday season. All right, and so in other news, everyone, while many, or not that many, but while some folks were debuting their new talk shows earlier this season, or this fall season, when I say this season, or this new TV season, Trevor Noah announced that he is leaving TV. Yeah, The Daily Show, at least. And that's after he put in 7 years. Now, he told viewers, quote, that I realized that after 7 years, my time is up, but in the most beautiful way, he said. He went on to share that doing the show has been one of his greatest challenges, and that he never, ever, ever dreamed that he would even be doing that show. And so he thanked the network and the program team for giving him a tremendous opportunity, while he really didn't know what his next move was going to be. He thanked the audience and everyone who played a role in his career. Now, the network itself issued a statement expressing its gratitude to Trevor for their amazing partnership over the last 7 years. They also went on to say there was no clear timetable for his departure, but that they were all working together to make sure that his next steps are successful. So, wow. Wow. What can you say? I guess, everyone is different. Everyone has, what do you, a different road in life to journey. And so for him, his journey has ended. And so we'll see what happens next. It's the Daily Show that he's stepping away from. So who knows? He may be announcing the Trevor Noah Show soon. We'll see. All right. And then real quick, for those who love the Met Gala, next year's 2023 Met Gala will celebrate the legacy of the late designer Karl Lagerfeld. Of course, we know he died back in 2019. Now, the theme will be called Karl Lagerfeld, A Line of Beauty. And it will coincide with a new major exhibition at the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute, which will also showcase the fashion mogul's most iconic and revolutionary designs. And of course, we all know that this typically takes place the first Monday in May, the Met Gala, that is. And according to the New York Times, this Karl Lagerfeld, A Line of Beauty theme was originally slated to be the theme of the 2022 gala, but was pushed back due to complications from the pandemic. Now, it's, as we all know, this Met Gala is a very exclusive, invite-only major fundraiser event, and it can cost anywhere upwards to $30,000 just to attend. And according to one of their official press releases, this Karl Lagerfeld exhibition will be open to the public from May 5th through July 16th of 2023, and it will spotlight his stylistic vocabulary as it was expressed in through his lines, the aesthetic themes that appear time and time again, and his fashions from the 1950s to his final collection in 2019. And of course, the collection will feature 150 pieces. My goodness. I did not know that Karl Lagerfeld actually served as creative director for Fendi and Chloe and Chanel, as well as he designed at a time for a period of time for Balmain and Patou. So, and of course his own label. And so we can look forward to that. And again, Karl Lagerfeld, A Line of Beauty, will be the theme for the 2023 Met Gala Ball. All right, and let's go ahead and jump into our cafe talk, everyone. And so Again, the question is, have you cut back on how much you pay for groceries because of this inflation that they say that we're in and that it's supposed to worsen in the coming months? Have you cut back on groceries? Now, asked this question because, as I shared at the top of the show, there was some new data that was recently released, a survey that said that inflation is causing most Americans to cut back on their grocery shopping. The survey results showed 82% of American shoppers reported trying to save on groceries in the last month because of inflation, with more and more simply buying less at the store. And of course, another common cost saving tactic that shoppers use is comparison shopping. So they compare prices, and sometimes they opt to purchase a generic or store brand rather than the name brands that they may have purchased in better times. Now, of course, the poll was done after federal inflation data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed both consumer and producer prices rose more than 8% in the previous 12 months. And of course, other items rose much, much more. But the food at home index rose 13% over the last 12 months. Cereal and baked goods, 16% over the last year. Dairy and other related products rose 15.9%. Other major grocery store food groups posted increases ranging from 9% all the way up to nearly 16%. And so that's pretty harsh, when you think about people who may be struggling anyway. Now, listen, this report even showed that the cost of eating out rose as well, though not as much as grocery store prices. So, again, the question is, have you cut back on how you pay for groceries because of inflation? Let's see. Let me just throw more information out there. Now, the poll also found poor Americans are being hit the hardest by higher prices, of course, causing them to cut back on their groceries. And then the report showed that even those in higher income ranges earning at least six figures annually are also spending less at the grocery store. So is food like one of the first things to go in all of this? Uh, and when I say go, I mean an area where people cut, I guess, because your housing and um, uh, transportation and maybe uh, clothing is up there, especially if you work outside of the home. And so a lot of people will cut back on food. I know even for me with my shopping, although I kind of changed my shopping during the pandemic because of the supply chain issues that we were having. And so I already was kind of cutting back because, the prices of everything, the prices of everything went up during those pandemic years. And so I made adjustments where I could in my spending. But I still, there are certain food items that you just don't want to um, sacrifice, like your meats and things of that nature. You want the best quality when it comes to those kind of things. And so you just kind of, it's like a juggling act, I guess. And so, to answer the Cafe Talk question for myself, have you cut back on how you pay for groceries because of this inflation period that we're in? I would have to say yes, although for me, it was due to the pandemic. But I'm certainly still watching pennies and how I, spend not only on groceries, but on other things as well. Um, and trusting, and knowing that all my needs are going to be met, all my wants are going to be supplied either way. But the question is out there, and you can certainly chime in here at the video in the comment section, or you can catch me on some of the social media platforms, which, by the way, there will be some adjustments to how I post the shows starting in the very near future. So I would recommend that you definitely check out Maryland'sCafeSociety.com more often, and subscribe to the YouTube channel more often. That way, you know that you will definitely get the latest updated version of the show. All right. So again, have you cut back on how much you pay for groceries because of inflation? I'd love to hear from you and see if, the responses I get kind of measure up to what this polling data showed across the country. All right, all right. Well, folks, I think that is it. We are going to wrap it up now. I do want to one last time. I think we're going to be together. Are we going to be together next Tuesday? Is that November 1st? I think it is. So yeah, this is the last Tuesday of the month, and so it'll be our last opportunity to visit or practice the word irrumpent for October. Irrumpent, which of course means bursting forth or through a surface. Irrumpent. All right. All right. And then let's go ahead and just remind you that oh my goodness, that's right. I got my winner for the Christmas giveaway, but it's not too late because we do have two more after today. Or you can still, if you have a product, service, or just something that you want to contribute to the Christmas giveaway, you can still reach out to producer at Maryland'sCafeSociety.com, producer at Maryland'sCafeSociety.com, and we'll work it out so that you can get it to us, and we can definitely mention you during the giveaway and however else we decide to work things out. Okay. All right. Producer at Maryland'sCafeSociety.com. And let's go ahead and share that winner. And the winner is T. Wright. T. Wright. So congratulations to T. Wright. Congratulations. You picked up that very first Christmas gift bag giveaway. Thank you so much. Thank you. And remember, you can be a winner too. All you have to do is connect with me in some kind of way, either on the social media, or become a part of the email club, Mondays with Marilyn. All you have to do is send your email to Maryland's Cafe Society at yahoo.com and just say, sign me up or add me to the Mondays with Marilyn email club. And those are ways that you can have your name thrown into the cup to be pulled for the next two Christmas gift bag giveaways that will be given away. And remember, these giveaways will happen at the end of every month leading up to Christmas, the closest show date to Christmas. So, for example, today happens to be the 25th of October. How neat is that? And so we're doing that first giveaway. And then next month, November, will be the closest day, show day, nearest to the 25th, that will do that giveaway as well. All right. So you still have time to throw your name into the pot, and you still have time to sponsor this particular giveaway if you'd like to get your business or product or service or whatever it is that you may have out there exposed to a different audience. All right. And so, as I said earlier, be sure to plug into Maryland'sCafeSociety.com. That's the website where you will definitely get the updated version of the latest show. And subscribe to this YouTube channel, like it, subscribe it, and share it, because that is another way that you will definitely get the latest updated show. And of course, on my social media, we can connect as well. Go to the website and you'll get all of those links to the various social medias, including the blog. We have to get a new blog up for you too, so that should be done a little bit later on in the week as well. All right, all right. Well, everyone, it's always nice to be able to share with you via this platform. And I got to tell you what love is before we end the show. And love is exercising your right to vote. Make sure you get out there and cast your vote and take a friend or two with you. All right. All right, everybody. If you don't do anything else in the next week or next time we're together, be sure that you live, you laugh, love, and vote. As always, it's a pleasure and a privilege. I'll see you on the next show. Peace, everybody. Take care.